What's up, everybody? Zach here with the NerdCave. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. We're doing another drive to work vlog, whatever I'm going to call this. I have no idea. But guys, hope you're doing well. Hope your week has been off to a fantastic start. Tonight we've got NerdCave stream, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an awesome time. What I'm doing yet, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm playing yet. I know I'm not doing Helldivers. So yeah, no Helldivers tonight, but we'll be playing something. We'll be hanging out. We'll be chatting. It's going to be great. Thursday, people are honking, guys. Thursday, we've got NerdCave News. This is the last time NerdCave News will be on Thursday. For the foreseeable future, we are moving NerdCave News to Wednesdays next week, the start of April, which is going to be kind of interesting, but hopefully it will go well. I know it puts us at a weird place, like news-wise, because usually majority of the news comes out by that like Thursday point. Some things kind of slip under the radar out on Friday, since we don't do a show on Friday and everything, so it is what it is. Got to kind of roll with the punches on that one, but I am looking forward to it. So next week, NerdCave News will be on Wednesdays. Yugi is going to be with us this week, which I am excited for. I know last week I had to cancel at the well, not the last minute, but I had to cancel on Thursday our NerdCave News for last week, but it was for a good reason. I got a last minute call to do a shoot with a medical supply company. What they do is they actually make artificial shoulder joints, and they wanted to do a live stream to all of their like reps and everything across the country with a doctor. They were like interviewing a doctor and everything, so I got called because I'm the only one in the area that knows how to actually live stream and do it professionally. It was a long day Thursday. I woke up at like 3:40, wasn't feeling good. It was not a great day in that area, but it turned out great. Everything went well. They were very impressed and excited about how the live stream turned out, which makes me feel good. So they were potentially, it might be a long-term thing, so we'll see. But they were like, how do you feel about doing, y'all might hear rain in the background. It's raining, if y'all didn't know that. They're like, could you do PowerPoints and all that? And I was like, yeah, that's, sky's the limit type deal. They're like, oh, awesome. What about, we could do like showing like how the surgery is supposed to happen and everything. I was like, oh, that'll be cool. And like on cadavers. And I was like, say what? I was like real cadavers? And the dude was like, yeah, like they're already dead. And I was like, well, I would hope they were dead. But me and blood just don't mix well, so that was interesting. So I might be filming dead bodies in the near future, so y'all pray for me on that one. But yeah, it went well. I thank the good Lord for extra income and everything. But yeah, so that's what happened Thursday, but it turned out really great. So weekend was good. We went to this little taco place called Gabby's Taqueria down in downtown Pensacola. Highly suggested if you're looking for a place to go get some pretty good tacos. The vibe is really nice, very clean. The parking's a little weird, I will say, but other than that, it's a really great place. Very nice, family oriented. Got good music. I would suggest wearing sunglasses. It is completely outside, so you are going to be outside, so check the weather. But family, her sister. They're like a few weeks apart on birthdays and everything. So celebrated everybody's birthday. We went to La Monte, which is a gelato place downtown as well, because they have dairy-free and gluten-free options. So hit that up. It was great. Had a good time. Highly suggest both of those places if you're looking for something in the area. So yeah, good time over the weekend. Edited a ton. I had a huge project this weekend to get through, which I'm glad that it is over with. I tend to procrastinate. If y'all don't know that yet, I tend to procrastinate on editing just because I do it all the time, and like at work I have to do it very, very quickly. Like turnaround and everything is very, very quick for me at work. Dude's like, oh, now I'm going to turn as soon as I got into this lane. I should have saw the signs, guys. He didn't have a blinker on yet. But yeah, I rarely want to edit when I get home, but you know, it is what it is. It's a huge project done this week. We also have Eat Sleep Anime that's going to be coming out. I don't know if I'm going to put it out Friday or Monday of next week. It might be Monday, just so I have a little bit more lead time, because I haven't edited yet. It doesn't need a ton of editing, but I do want like a whole kind of like rollout plan. Put out the full episode, shorts. We're going to break it down as well into like clips, like kind of segments, because we have a ton of segments in the show. So I am super, super excited about that. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I think people are going to really, really enjoy the show, because Derek and I put a ton of work into it. The intro is awesome. The logo looks great. And if you want to check out the live stream before it goes out for everybody, you can go check it out over on patreon.com/NerdCave right now, and you can watch the live stream that we did the week before last Saturday. So but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that's going to be coming out either Friday or Monday. So I'm really looking forward to that, putting that out and everything, and working on a few new things, trying out some stuff for like shorts and everything, turning projects into, you know, like shorts and all of that. I've kind of think I have a workflow. My plan is to at least get one short out a day about news and everything, and us, you know, me cover kind of like whatever the topic I want to. I want to get to more, but definitely one, and then I'm going to post it on TikTok and YouTube, of course, but then I'm going to create a blog out of that, and I'm going to put it over on Patreon for the time being. You know, maybe it'll become a newsletter or something. I have no idea at the moment, but put that over on Patreon, so, and that will be free for everybody. So if you have not went over to patreon.com/NerdCave and joined as a free member, you totally can, and you can see those getting posted. So it's a little bit more information than just the video, so you can check all of that out. But over the weekend, we kind of chilled most, you know, the time I wasn't editing and everything. We have been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I've been enjoying the show. It's funny, you know, it's sitcom, you know, the network kind of sitcom and everything, but I think the characters are pretty well fleshed out. I like the captain, you know, may he rest in peace. He passed away like a few months ago, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, like all of the characters are really interesting. I think they're all well written. and Andy Samberg does a great job of kind of, running the show as the executive producer and everything. But yeah, I'm enjoying the show a lot, and it's just kind of, sit down, we watch an episode or two while we eat, and then we read. We've been reading Assassin's Quest, started that over the weekend, and man, we're like 4 or 5 chapters in, and gosh, it's already hitting you in the stomach, and I'm like, how, like, it's only going to get worse, but it's like so good, but it's worse at the same time. The writing, guys, I won't give anything away, but the writing, Robin Hobb goes freaking Super Saiyan. Let me just say that, like, her writing goes to a whole nother level, and it is exquisite. Not in the, like, oh, it's not like, oh, it's so flowery, it's so descriptive. Just what she's conveying and how she conveys it is so well done. And if you get to the 3rd book at the beginning, you will see what I'm talking about. And we'll be doing an episode of the appendix on this, which is over on Amy's channel. You should go check out Amy Every Books if you're into books. I kind of talk about books on this, like, car drive episode, because that's something we do a ton of. But really, really good. We will be doing an episode of that, and if you want to join our Fable book club, it's called The Appendix, you can go check that out. But really enjoying it. I don't know where the story is going to go. I can only tell you that it's going to be heart-wrenching, and at the end, hopefully we'll get us some sort of good payoff, because, man, it's very real life in some of the things and everything, but I am excited to see where it goes. I am close to finishing Deadly Education, and if you don't know what that is, it is a dark academia magic school. It's not like Harry Potter. Like, all the kids are like high school age from like freshmen up, but how it works is there are these things called Malia. They're like essentially demons, or whatever you want to call it. Think Percy Jackson in this. And at a certain age, you start becoming, your powers start awakening, and you start gathering this thing called mana, which, if you've ever played a video game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the energy to be able to cast spells. So when you start getting enough mana and everything, you become more and more of a target, especially like at that like ripe age of like 14. You are weak enough and powerful enough for them to like want to eat you type deal. So that's kind of the setup. They send children of that age, not everybody gets in, to this school called the Scholarmance, and you have to go to classes and learn. There's no teachers. The school just kind of populates things, but it's like you start at the top level, and every year you move down, and the further you get down to the graduation hall, which is filled with Malia. So you have to find a ton of these things to get out of there. By then you're a lot stronger, but they have feasted on the graduating class for hundreds of years. There's some of these monsters that are in there that have been there pretty much since the beginning. So it's very interesting. The girl that is our main character, Gabriella. Yes, Elle. She is very, very powerful, but it's all like bad spells, like killing a ton of people to being able to conjure huge fire that would murder a lot of people to being able to control a ton of people's minds at once. It's all of this stuff. And she doesn't want any of this. Like, she wants to be a good magic user. She doesn't want to be this evil sorcerer. She just wants to live a normal life, and the school wants nothing of that. It keeps giving her these awful spells, so she has to like really try hard not to get them. She has to constantly ask it for very specific things for it to be able to give it to her and everything. So almost done with that. Really enjoying that series. I know Amy read it like physically. I'm reading it through audiobook on Libby, which y'all should totally get Libby if you haven't already. Go get you a library card. Help support your libraries. Keep them open. Keep them funded. But I'm really enjoying it because it's just like my ride home. It's not like me spending hours sitting down and reading through it. Everything's voice acted really well. Every character has kind of their own sound, so I like that. So if you're looking for a good audiobook, I suggest that. A lot of people tout this. Like, I'd come in like, you know, with just like normal expectations. Like a lot of people like overhype this, and I think that's why Amy was slightly disappointed about the book and everything. But I'm enjoying it. Almost done. There's been a lot of cool and interesting twists. I was wondering like where this thing would go, but now I know where it's headed. Where the big ultimate, you know, thing that's going to happen in these books. Like, it's set up like an young adult novel, but it is an adult book just because of language that is in the book. There are some expletives and everything. A lot of violence. So just know that going in, which, you know, it's not like grotesque all the time. There are some, especially like some of the Malia and everything. But yeah, it's good. I highly suggest it if you're into that kind of, you know, wizard school type deal. But it is adult, so it's not, you know, YA or anything. So the last thing, how many people have watched the last Avatar, The Last Airbender show? It might just be Avatar. I have no idea what they're calling it over on Netflix. How many of y'all watched the live action version that they put out a few weeks ago? We watched it the first week that it came out. We kind of paced it out throughout the whole weekend and everything, but we did watch it in one essentially weekend. It's interesting, and I know a lot of people had talked about it like when it first came out. I kind of want to let it stew, and I hadn't been doing these yet. When I was talking about all the TV shows last week, I didn't even think about it, to be honest, but that kind of tells you a little bit of like where I think about this show. But we watched the show, and it's got some really interesting things. I think the graphics are great. It looks really good. The costumes look interesting. The bending, I think, is so good. You know, I'm thinking back to, you know, M. Night Shyamalan's thing. This wasn't great. That movie sucks overall, but the bending looks really cool. Everything seems very physical. You know, thankfully, firebenders don't have to have fire for them to be able to cast this time. So, overall, like, I think it's pretty good. Aang can fly for some odd reason, which is weird compared to, like, where we got. But the thing is, like, if you're looking for Avatar: The Last Airbender, go watch the animated show, because this one has none of the heart, none of the overarching like subplots that tie things together. This is almost a shot-by-shot recreation of the major points of book 1, which is water in the show. Going to see King Boomy, to going to the Northern Water Tribe. But Aang doesn't even learn waterbending in this season, guys. That was the whole point of him going to the Northern Water Tribe, was to learn. And in the show, we get that. But here, we don't get the subplots like Katara and the master that is at the Northern Water Tribe. If you've watched the show, you know that is not there. So there's really no heart. It's just kind of going through these big beats. And there's a lot of like cool looking moments, but there are no, it feels like the stakes, like the overall stakes are there, but the heart of the show is totally gone. And majority of the characters feel so flat. The two that I think they do pretty well, especially Zuko. Zuko feels so on point. Like, his actor, great. I think they handled Zuko really well. Iroh, I would also say they handled pretty well. I think the relationship between him and Zuko are very accurate. So, if you're looking for that, you're definitely going to get it. Aang doesn't feel like Aang. Sokka at times feels like Sokka. I know they made a big deal about taking the sexism out of the character, and a lot of people have already talked about this. Like, that is one of the big things, like character development wise, that happens in season 1 with the Kyoshi Warriors that isn't there. We don't get that. Katara, I don't even know where to start with Katara. Katara just feels all over the place. She's not going, my mother, all the time, touching her like necklace, which is fine. That was one of my things that I would make fun of from the animated series, but like, she just kind of felt like she was just there. Like, she wasn't like this character you were rooting for. She was just there. And like the water fight that is in the Northern Tribe between Katara and, I can't remember the master's name, guys. It was kind of it was there. Some of the cool things happened, but it was not like, the stakes weren't there. There weren't all of these implications because that subplot was totally ripped out. So, I don't know. Overall, like, it was interesting. The Fire Lord is, like, all up in that. The subtlety of him being backlighted with the fire, sitting on his throne, totally gone. He's in, like, every scene when we go to the Fire Nation. Azula is shown, like, right away. We already get May and Ty Lee, so we don't have, like, Azula, like, finding them, especially, like, Ty Lee, and kind of, like, forcing her to join this crew and everything. So, like, overall, if you're looking for the show to be what you want it to be, it's not going to be. Hopefully, it's already been greenlit for season 2 and 3, because it did really well. It did better than One Piece, and I'm curious to see like how One Piece is compared to the anime. I've never watched it, but Derek has. But I say all of that to say, if you're looking for the heart of the show, go watch the animated show again. If you're looking for a big live action version of this that has been kind of camel by committee, then go watch the live action one, because you're not going to get the things that you want out of it, but there are some cool set pieces overall. So it is what it is at the end of the day, but I think you will enjoy it, just going in with that expectation. It is not the Avatar that you are hoping and wanting, but it is not M. Night Shyamalan's with the all of that. I will say one last thing. The costuming, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I think you will be like, wow, they did a really good job of that. I think that is one of the best parts of the show, is the costuming looks fantastic. So, guys, I'm here at work. I hope y'all have a great Tuesday. I almost said Thursday. I'm wishing over here. Hope y'all have a great Tuesday. See y'all tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central Time over on the stream. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.